In the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of what we call the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. I am the gatekeeper or host of this program, known here on social media. Wherever you may find me, I am known as the mighty Angel Snub 7. I am your soul brother, number one. We had a very interesting and embarrassing live stream last night because one of the guests could not explain his position. He did not know his position. All he could do is barely regurgitate, copy something that he read and gotten from somebody, and could not explain what he got from somebody else. And so he fell apart. And I entertained that, hoping that maybe he would come up out of his this paranoia, this insanity. And he went on and on and on and could not explain nothing. This is why many people hide behind avatars, because they cannot explain their position. The least you could do is do a Google search. Something that will support your belief, your opinion. I don't want to deal with beliefs and opinions. In his tirade, he says that I do not know how to comprehend what I read. My comprehension skills is real low. Well, let's see how well I comprehend. Let's see how well I read. So what really made folks upset last night is when I said, and I always say this on our platform, is that the woman or female position in this patriarchal society is that of a slave. This is why her work is called domestic work or domesticated. Because she is a servant, she is a slave to her massa, which will be her husband and her family. It's domestic work. She is a slave. And they did not like that. I don't care what you don't like. It is what it is. I don't care what kind of name you put on it. What is it? This fancy name that they put on janitors? You a janitor. But there's a fancy name that they label people. You are a janitor. Now they give it a fancy name so it won't sound so bad, I guess. There was a time when we used the word mental retardation, now mentally disabled or something. You have to be politically correct, because we don't want to deal with the reality of the situation. They could not define feminism. We spent 2 hours and nobody. They gave a simple definition of feminism, but did not correlate. They did not show how feminism contributed to the downfall or the destruction of the black community. They did not show this. It's just blaming somebody without any real proof. It's blaming somebody as a distraction from your own failure as a man. These are not men. These are not full functioning men. They want us to believe that they are. But if they were full functioning men, why are we living in the condition that we're living in? It is because they have failed. And instead of accepting and holding themselves accountable, I'm going to blame the women, feminism, racism. I'm going to find something to blame my failure. This is 2025. You can no longer blame feminism, racism, whatever it is, the isms that you have to blame yourself. And you have to hold yourself accountable and just confess to yourself, I don't know what to do. Why don't you say that? I'm incompetent. I can't get the job done. What's wrong? The thing about it is, instead of trying to find that solution, I'd rather blame somebody else. Instead of saying, I don't know. And then they reject those who might know because it does not fit within the delusion of themselves that they have painted in their head. Let us see if what Angel Snub 7 talked about calling women's work domestic or domestication is slavery. Let's talk about it. Here we go. We're going to look at the word, the definition right here. Definition from Google search. Domestication is the process of adapting wild plants and animals for human use through a mutualistic relationship. Definition. Domestication is a multi-generational relationship where one species takes care of another to obtain resources. Somebody is going to change another for their purpose. That's what it's saying. We did that with plants. If you go do a Google search and see the original banana, the original avocado, the original grape, the original watermelon, that's what they were in the wild. But I'm going to take, as a man, as a human, we're going to take a process, manipulate the grape, manipulate the watermelon and banana, cause it to grow, become unnatural for my benefit. Because that's not what you found in the wild. All these flowers and plants and things that we deal with, all of them are hybrids. All of them have been manipulated to benefit the human being. Domesticated. All these different cats and dogs and pigs and cows and chickens, all of them are not original. They have been manipulated by man not to benefit themselves. Because the purpose of domestication is to benefit the one who enslaved them and changed them for your benefit. So what is a slave? For 400 years, 300, 400 years in this country, people were taken from Africa, or they were already here. They took these people and broke them down to change a people into a domestic servant, a slave. one human, the white man, or white people or Europeans in this nation, changed another people to be their servant, domesticated you. And you still have a domesticated mind. The female has been manipulated and changed by the male not to be an equal partner in life, but to become his servant, his slave. That's why her work, a woman's work is called at home, a woman's work at home is called domestic work, because she's domesticated. She's become a servant. She become a slave to this man. I'm your slave master. In the old marriage vows, it used to say and tell the woman that you should obey your husband. Serve and obey your husband, something like that. And a lot of women, of course, through the years, they've taken that out. But that was the original marriage vow. To serve and obey because you're a damn slave. For this man and his vanity. That's what you exist for. My use. What does it say for domestication? Domestication is an evolutionary. It's not evolutionary. It's an artificial and manipulated process by humans that involves the artificial selection of animals or humans, which is a female, or a black man to a Caucasian to undergo behavioral, to undergo behavioral, psychological, and what is that? I cannot pronounce that. Phenotype changes. The making of a slave. And women accept this because that's all they've known for generations all over the earth. Serve my man. I'm always behind my man. My purpose as a woman is to spit out his babies and clean his house, give him pleasure. That's all I exist for. I have no other purpose. I have no other mind. I gotta wait for him to give me my orders. Yes, sir. No, sir. It's slavery. He has no respect for you because you are a slave. What is a slave? A slave exists only to benefit his or her massa. There is no benefit in the relationship. There is no benefit for the tomato or the banana or the okra, all these domesticated fruits and plants and vegetables. There is no benefit in this relationship except to serve the human being. There is no benefit or in the relationship of this traditional marriage, this relationship between man and woman in this patriarchal society. It only goes to the men. Just like Caucasian people have the advantage and the benefits living in a racist society. Racism is easy to get rid of. But you're dealing with people who benefit. Well, I understand the racism and I understand what black folks go to. You know, they have gone through for the last 300 years, but as a Caucasian, and some of them even admit it. Some Caucasian people will even admit and tell you how they benefit. They don't want to let that go. I like what racism give me. I like what the patriarchal society gives a man. All women bow down to me. No matter how stupid, no matter how violent, abusive, or idiot I am in the patriarchal society, this woman supposed to bow down and serve. In fact, in some places, boys are above full-grown women in some societies because a woman ain't nothing except a servant, a slave, because of her gender. She offers nothing. She builds nothing. And she's nothing. Just like how Caucasian people talk about black folks, melanin. Y'all was nothing but savages in the trees. You are nothing. You built nothing. You offer nothing. And black men would get upset over that. Oh, well, we as melanated men, people, we built the Great Pyramids and we did this and we did that. But when the same thing is talked about women, women don't offer nothing to the world. Women didn't build civilization. Women didn't do nothing. Then these same men, you're right about that. As long as it's not them. This is 2025. All this sucker oppression, all this supremacy garbage got to go out the window. Because the bottom line is all humans are affected by the same damn thing. I did not remember COVID or no disease running around. I'm just gonna attack the white people. I'm just gonna attack the Asians. I'm just gonna attack the homeless. COVID went out and everybody was getting it. Everybody gets chicken pox. Everybody can get malaria. These diseases don't discriminate. And so when you come up with a cure or a vaccine for these diseases, it benefits all humans, not just one specific person, all genders. We caught up in this supremacy. Sick. We've been living in sickness for so long. We are embrace and become part of the sickness. Well, here, I don't do that. Here, we heal the injury. We heal, we understand the sickness. And we come up out of the racism. We come up out of this, out of the sexism and all these other isms. And even when we know that what your behavior is unnatural, we still treat you like a human being. And instead of trying to destroy what we made unnatural, we understand that when we begin to practice something different, we begin to reverse that process. You don't have to talk about these unnatural behaviors. They will begin to disappear because we as human beings have become different. But as long as you're in the cesspool, excuse the language, as long as you're in the cesspool, the only thing you're going to produce is shit. Because shit produce you. I don't care how much you clean and wash and you think that you clean and you holy and righteous, you full of shit. That's why y'all on here 24 hours a day talking shit. Then you get angry at me because I expose your shit. That's a personal problem. You still want to live in the cesspool? That's your business. I'm pretty sure there are many folks out here that want to clean themselves up, understand what has happened to them, and break out of the matrix. Whether the matrix is white, whether it's black, we're breaking out of the matrix. You want to stay in there with your foolishness? Then do so. I'm Angel Snub 7.